Vampires are kind of the theme for 2024 in my opinion. Let's jump right into my most anticipated new releases for 2024. I'm gonna save my most anticipated book for 2024 until the very end, just to, you know, build some excitement. There's a lot of really good books coming out in 2024 and I honestly am so excited. So the very first book that I am really excited to read in 2024 is going to be released on February 4th, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Now this is one of my top 3 that I am the most excited for. I'm not sure if the paperback or it like actually comes out on that day or if that's just the Kindle release day. I know I pre-ordered a signed edition from Barnes & Noble, which I'm really excited about, but I'm probably gonna get the Kindle edition if it comes out first. But basically this is Ali Hazelwood's first dark, I wanna say it's like a gothic romance. So there's werewolves and vampires and it's an adult fantasy, an adult paranormal fantasy romance. I am super excited. There's a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf and just really excited about this one. I think it's going to be such a fun read and I think it's so fun that it's coming out in February because it can kind of be like a Valentine's Day read and it's like, I love the juxtaposition between such a loving, happy holiday and being paired with like dark gothic romance. I think that's so fun and I'm so excited to pick that one up in February. So the second book that I'm really excited to read in 2024 is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. It's out on June 11th. I am really excited about this one in particular because Ali Hazelwood can do no wrong when it comes to like science romances, and this is another science romance. In Love Theoretically, she kind of had a play where she referenced back to some characters in one of her older books, and it made me really happy and really excited. So I am personally really excited to see if she references characters from Love Theoretically in this book as well. But it's a science romance and it's about like an affair, like they're having an affair, but they're not in love. They're definitely not in love. Really excited about this one. It's back in her typical contemporary romance genre, which, you know, is very exciting also because she does such a good job at that. I am really excited to see how she does in the gothic fantastical romance sector of the bookish community. Third book I am excited to read in 2024 comes out on April 2nd, and it is The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I love Holly Jackson's writing. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the biggest fan of 5 Survive. I thought it was a little bit drawn out, a little bit predictable, but I feel like this could be a redemption for Holly Jackson. You know, 5 Survive, not a flop. It did so well. So many people loved it so much, and I thought it was really cool how it was over kind of like a few hours of the day. That was really cool. The plot was just a little bit it just missed a little bit for me personally. Reappearance of Rachel Price is about 18-year-old Belle, whose mother, when she was 2 years old, disappeared. And basically now that she is grown up, they're doing a documentary on the disappearance of her mother's case. But apparently, you know, she kind of goes on a little bit of a mission to uncover the truth of her mom's disappearance. I'm super excited for this. This sounds right up my alley. I love true crime. And I just think it's going to be so fun. It reminds me a lot of The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So if you love this premise and this sounds good to you and you don't want to wait until April to read this, you can read that by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Super good. Definitely recommend. The next book I have for you comes out September 17th, and that is A Dark and Drowning Tide by Allison Saft. Allison Saft. First of all, can I just say, this is one of the most beautiful cover arts I've seen in such a long time. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. When I saw it, I was immediately drawn. Before I even read the premise, I was like, this is going on the top 10. This is going on the top 10. I am obsessed. It gives me like Sleepy Hollow vibes a little bit, and I am so excited to read this. It is a standalone, so I do think that maybe Chloe and I will do a buddy read of this book on our podcast because I'm gonna read it regardless. Truly, I am so excited. Some of the genres: gothic, queer, romance, fantasy. Enough said. But in case you weren't convinced, a pair of academic rivals. A sharp-tongued folklorist must pair up with her academic rival to solve their mentor's murder in this lush, enthralling, sapphic fantasy romance from the New York Times bestselling author A Far Wilder Magic. I am so excited about this. I love dark academia. I love the school vibes. I love you know, a good witty pair. I'm sensing some enemies to lovers here with the rivals, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I think that this one's gonna be so much fun, and I'm not usually like a huge standalones person. Like, I'll read them every now and then, but I am so excited for this. And if I didn't say, it does come out September 17th. I think I did say that. Anyways, it comes out September 17th of 2024. I can't wait. Look at this cover art. Look at this cover art. Look at this cover art. It's so beautiful. The next book I have on my list is called Where the Sleepy Girls Lie by
Rita Abike Ayamide.
Abike Ayamide. I'm really excited about this one. It's pretty similar premise to the last one, where it's dark academia, it's queer, except for there's a murder. Students is murders, and it's in a prestigious high school. So I am so excited to read this. An unholy trinity. There is Persephone, who our main character is inexplicably drawn to. I think it's going to be so beautifully done. It's by the same author who wrote Ace of Spades, which was really popular. I didn't get a chance to read that one. I will likely be picking it up in 2024. I have a lot of reading to catch up on that I'm really excited about, but this one comes out March 19th of 2024, and it is definitely on my to-be-read list. Moving on to the series. The first book that I have is actually a duology. It is part of the Blood and Tea book series, which honestly, as soon as I saw the title of this book, I got so excited because I love tea. And it's very rare for some reason for tea to be mentioned in books like this, I feel. So this book is actually called A Tempest of Tea, and the release date for this is February 20th. It is by Hasafaiza, I believe. I tried to look up the pronunciation of this one. And this one, basically, the main character joins a band of misfits to infiltrate a dark, glittering vampire society. I'm so excited. I love vampires, and I feel like vampires are kind of the theme for 2024 in my opinion. They're making their big comeback. Twilight, we're in our Twilight era. It is young adult, historical fiction, paranormal. What more could you want? I'm so excited. There's some betrayal in here. I heard it's action-packed and swoon-worthy. So I am just really excited about this one. This book series that we have is called So Let Them Burn. It is a Jamaican-inspired fantasy, which is I'm over the moon about. I'm so excited. It is part of the Divine Traders series. I don't know how many books it's going to be. It's by Camilla Cole, and the release date for this one is January 16th. So it's coming up pretty quick. Fantasy, YA, has some LGBT aspects. There's dragons in it. So our main character can channel the power of the gods, and she used her divine magic to liberate her island from its enemies, the dragon riding empire. But now, at 17, she is all powered up with no wars to fight. She is a legend of her people and a nuisance to all of her neighbors. The next series is Feybound by Sarah El Arifi. The release date for this one is January 18th, and the series is called Feybound. So as looking into this series, it sounds honestly very similar to ACOTAR to me, but from the reviews it already has, from people getting this book early and everything, it sounds incredible. Like, it sounds so good. So it says, divided by blood, imprisoned by fate, bound by desire, welcome to the intoxicating world of the Fae. So basically our main character, nothing but violence her whole life, and so she takes her sister and is basically looking for a better life, and then she stumbles upon the Fae. The main character and her sister live in an elven world, live in the elven lands, and when our main character makes a fatal mistake, she gets exiled from the elven lands and is forced into the wilderness, where she stumbles upon the Fae. Thank you. I am so excited about this one. I'm so excited that it's released in January, because I honestly, if I had to wait any longer than January for this, I don't know if I could make it. So this one says it is fantasy, adult, romance, queer, fae. I love all the queer representation in 2024 that I'm seeing so far. Very excited. Almost done here. The next series that comes out in 2024 that I can't wait to read is called Heartless Hunter, and it is a part of the Crimson Moth series. This is book 1. It comes out February 20th, and it is by Kristen Cicerelli. Is a steamy game of cat and mouse between witch and witch hunter, played out against a backdrop of opulence, secrets, and blood history. I'm so excited. It's fantasy, romance, YA, which YA is one of my favorite genres, which is fantasy, romance, young adult fantasy, magic, and more. I am so excited. Also, the cover art for this one, stunning. A round of applause. Honestly, so pretty. Witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. She basically goes into hiding pretending to be a socialite, but she spends her night as a crimson moth. She's like a superhero for witches. She's a witch vigilante. Sorry, she's like Batman for witches. A witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When a rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp, a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution. You joking? Are you joking? This is also in my top 3 that I'm most excited for. Sometimes I forget. Because there's 10 books here, you know, I'm not going to remember the premise of all of them. So sometimes I go back and I look and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait. I'm even more excited than I was before. Already, this book is so highly rated on Goodreads. So, my number 1 of this list, my number 1 most anticipated release for 2024 at this moment is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. This is book 2 to the Cerulean Sea, and when I tell you I screamed when I found out there was going to be a book 2, I can't contain my emotions. This book had me laughing, crying, swooning, blushing, and not all because of, like, there's some, you know, side plot of romance, of course, but mostly just the plot of this book. If you've never read House of the Cerulean Sea, it follows our main character who works in child services. Basically, he goes out to this house of these magical children, and they're said to be some of the most dangerous children, and basically the government is trying to shut down this house because these kids are dangerous. Or I don't know if they're trying to shut them down. They're trying to do something with this house. Linus Baker works in child welfare, and he goes to check out these kids, but while he's there, Arthur is the head of the household who is basically watching over these kids and taking care of them, and, you know, stuff happens. Basically, this is Arthur's backstory. So he reveals his dark past, and it basically is going to be more focused on him. I am so excited because he was pretty mysterious in book 1. If I remember correctly, you don't learn a ton about him. So I'm really excited to see him and how he got in the position of taking care of these kids. I don't remember too much, so I do believe that I'm going to have to do a reread of House of the Cerulean Sea, which I have no problem doing. But this does not come out until September, so if you are also planning to do a reread, or if you haven't picked up the House of the Cerulean Sea yet, now is the perfect time to do that before September. I just think that 2024 is going to be such a great reading year, and I'm so thankful for all the authors who work so hard to get all of these books out, because they're feeding into my addiction. It's fine. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for watching me ramble about a bunch of books that I'm excited to read next year. And stay tuned to see if I actually read some of these on their release date and see my thoughts on what I thought of them. And thank you. Bye.